All right, testing. Anybody there? Can you hear me? Let's hide this. Boom. We're here. Can anyone hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Check. So I got this whole setup and it's all new to me. I learned OBS last night and yeah, it's a lot. Let me show you. Let me give you a little tour of what I'm looking at here. This is what my iPhone sees. Looking at the Geneva. Someone's gonna win. Who's excited? Let me know down in the comments who's excited to win. I know giveaways are one of those things where it's like, oh, I never win. Somebody's gonna win. Someone's gonna win. Yeah, so this is my setup right here. It's confusing. It's like, actually, I think I could turn this around. Boom. There I am. It's one of those things where it's kind of like worship leading, where it's like, I just want to lead worship, but I have to deal with all this gear. All I want to do is like do a giveaway, do a YouTube live, and play guitar at the same time without a bunch of hassle. So I'm hoping it works today, but like my brain was fried yesterday trying to get all this together. So I have, and some of y'all asked, which is why I'm doing this, asked my setup. And this is not what I did last week, but I have this cheap, nope, turned it around. Here we go. I have this cheap Behringer interface here. I'm coming out of this like blue Yeti, which I should ask, can y'all hear me fine? Let me know in the comments if you can hear me fine. Hopefully I can hear myself. I'm monitoring myself through this Behringer. I have the Stomp going out of the back here into the Behringer, but I also have it going USB into this little dongle down here. And that's the only way you can hear it stereo, because when it goes through here, it's just mono and it's on one side. And then there's my camera, Canon SL2 with a Sigma, coming in with this cam link right here. And I'm using OBS Streamlabs, and I'll be able to share different things. So there's the pedal we're giving away today. And let's see if I can share with you my HX Edit. Boom, HX Edit. Got some comments coming in. Hey, let's go. I decided that I should win. Yes, you definitely should win. Yep, we can hear you, but only in my right ear. Yeah, I think that's what was happening with the Behringer. It was like I could have the Stomp in one ear and my voice in the other, and I haven't been able to figure that out. I am not that tech savvy, but hopefully I've got it turned down. But hopefully you can hear my guitar playing stereo through the Stomp. If I turn it up here, let me know if you can hear this. What I have here is my worship template. So if those of you who don't know, I put an update out on my Expanse pack last week, and then like the very next morning they came out with a new update, firmware update, the 3.10. You can hear it really well. Awesome. They came up with the 3.0 firmware update, and I was like, oh man, I just did an update. So now I had to play with it. It's got some really cool stuff. I did a video on it last week about the dynamic hall reverb. I actually had a video go out yesterday comparing it to the Jet Revelation, and it's really good. I think the Jet Revelation still comes out on top for sure, but Line 6 definitely stepped it up with this new reverb. But I went ahead and put out 5 more presets in my Expanse pack for the update, and one of these is the worship template that you see here on the screen. And what I've done is I saw Jason Sadidas do this, where he just kind of has like a template that he uses, and I was like, hey, that's kind of what I do. I use a basic template on Sunday mornings, and I drag in my amps or my reverbs. And so what I've done here is I've put in the dynamic hall reverb, which is the new one, and it's in stereo. I have this like the low and high shelf, which is just a thing to get kind of that more bassy tone without being flubby. Learned that from John Cordy. He's playing around with it. I put it in there. I really like it. If it's too boomy, you can like take down that low gain. I have it all the way up because I thought it sounded pretty good. And then yeah, I go through my amps and cabs, which in this template, the thought process is that you could just take out the amp and cab that you want and replace it with whatever you want, copy and paste it. And then I just have like the delays set up how I usually use them. And I have these set up with different songs. I also have in here the retro reel in mono. And in order to fit, I do have a stereo delay here. So in order to fit everything on this preset, I know a lot of people were like, oh, we can't get all the new stuff in this preset because it's all stereo. But if you have a reverb that is stereo at the end of your chain, and I was still able to fit a delay, it'll take those delay sounds and the modulation and spread them really wide, and it still sounds really good. Let me read some comments here. Bummer, my right earbud is broken. Hello from Wisconsin, Michigan, Hungary, Belgium, Philippines. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know what was in here. And then if you see here at the top, if you can read that, it says snapshot or part one. So in the snapshot, it says song one or part one. Basically, it's set up to where you could scroll through the snapshots and change some parameters. So if I go to snapshot 2, I'm actually using it right now to say this is my second song of the set. And then I can change like how the note sync, the feedback. You can see it went there on that delay. Went from, well, it just turned that one on and off. And then snapshot 3 actually turned it off, but it made it a dotted eighth instead of snapshot 2 being an eighth. And it changes the mix. And what this does for me is it allows me to go from song to song and still have spillover, but then I still leave my stomp in stomp mode. And because I kind of like that feeling of being able to switch things on and off. So that's what I've been doing lately, and I decided to include that in the Expanse pack. Also some swells. Let me show you some swells here. I have this swell patch, but it's got an auto swell on it, so you can just strum. And it comes in really nice. That's a swell patch, but then I did this swell right here, which has like a nice shimmery sound on top of it. It sounds like this. So it's kind of got more like a cinematic flair to it with the shimmer that sits on top. Anyways, yeah. So those are also included, and then I have this preset here with the orange rocker verb sound, and it's set up with a couple. Where is my pick? There it is. Couple different sounds. And what I have here is, you can see on the screen, I have a bunch of the dynamic hall parameters set up to adjust a bunch of different things. You can get 3 different sounds. So this is kind of that short decay hall sound. Snapshot 2, a little more ambient. Snapshot 3, probably super ambient. yeah, so you can play around with that. And then I have one more preset here. It is the a tweed, and I did this so I could include the Hot Springs reverb. So I got that Hot Springs reverb, and I wanted it to be kind of like another Fendery type clean amp sound. The chug preset. Yes, I watched David Hislop's video last night. Dude, that was awesome. He's an amazing guitar player. He makes everything sound good. Hey from Mexico, UK. Awesome. Good to see you. Here in just 2 minutes, I'm going to reveal who the winner is. And here I'm gonna walk through the rest of the preset, the snapshots here on the Tweed preset. All right, so yeah, that's what that sounds like. Who's ready to see who won the Geneva pedal? Let's see. Had some questions here. Do you use your Stomp with other pedals? Yes, I do. Right now I have the. Let me show you. I will show you. Now I can show you. Boom. So this is my pedal board. I have the Stomp here. I use the Jet MCX MIDI controller. This is the Boss. No, not Boss. Sorry. Becos Effects Comp IQ. It's a really cool, really small compressor. I didn't know much about it. Found it on the internet. I forgot how I found it. I saw it in a video or something. And it has a lot of tweakability. It's got knobs here on the side. Does a lot of little things. I really like it. I mainly got it because it was black and I was doing my all black board situation here. But it's really good. I like the fact that it has this like meter on it so that you can see when it's compressing. And then which is black pedals get dusty. This is the blacked out Jet Revelation Stereo Ambient Reverb version 2, controlled via MIDI as well up here by the Jet MCX or the HX Stomp with Command Center. And this is the all black version 2 Broken Arrow Overdrive, which I love. And it's version 2 is also MIDI, so I can pull up different presets on that as well. All right, who's ready to see who won the Geneva? Let's go see. All right, I'm not going to share my screen with the reveal because I don't want anybody to see the email of the person. But I will share. It says ready to award. We had 619 contestants, 17,899 entries. That's awesome. Can the Jet Revelation replace the Big Sky? I would say yes and no. I mean, with the Big Sky, you get 300 presets, and that's amazing. I did do a shootout between the Big Sky, the Specular Reverb, and the Jet, and I think the Jet sounds the best, but yeah, you can do, since this is MIDI controlled, you can have all the flexibility you want. There's only 3 algorithms though, where with the Big Sky you get way more than that, but I would say it just depends on what you want to do. If you need a screen that tells you which song you're on and all that stuff, the Big Sky is the way to go. But if you just need something more simple, like I like simplicity, I like being able to control it via MIDI. I also like to just bend down and touch the 3 knobs and turn them and dial them in. Anyways, let's go. Ready to award. All right, we have an email. This is a Gmail email, so if you're not a Gmail person, sorry. But I will give you the last word in the email. The last word in the email is design. And the first 2 letters are R-O. R-O something design. That is who the winner is. ro something design at gmail.com. I'm going to be emailing this person very soon, here in a little bit, and see if they respond. They are the winner of the Geneva. Congratulations, ro blank 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 design at gmail.com. They had 40 entries. Boom. That's who the winner is. Is that anybody who's on the live stream? Let me know in the comments. Congrats, design. RO. Yes, congrats. I was hoping somebody, it'd be cool if the person who won was actually in the comments on the stream. I can see when they entered on April 13th. So congratulations. I will be reaching out to you soon. Hey, let me know down in the comments if you would like. I know most people watch these live streams because I have a giveaway going. But if I didn't have a giveaway, would you be interested in doing more live streams? Is the quality good enough with this setup to warrant it, or is it more trouble than it's worth? I just love messing with some ambient stuff. Scott, yes, you would watch. Awesome. Doing great, man. Keep it up. I appreciate it. Guys, I get so much encouragement from you guys. I really appreciate all of you. Yes, I dig it. A great question and answer. Yeah, that would be cool. I could do a question and answer. I'm not used to going live. I'm used to making a video, being able to edit out all the awkwardness because I'm not necessarily the most fluent person when I'm live, but I'll say funny words like fluent. I love this sound too. Josh, can make a patch of this? Yeah, that's what I was saying. This patch is included in the Expanse pack. If you don't know about it, you can click the link in the description. I guess it's in the description. I tried to put it in there. Yeah, it's in there. You can go click that, check it out, and read everything that's in there. My Expanse pack is, I call it Expanse because it just grows all the time. I keep putting stuff in there. You purchase it once, and you get free updates. So you actually got those who have purchased the Expanse pack 2 updates this past week because I updated it and then updated it again for the new firmware update. Yeah, so with this patch, you can see here in HX Edit, let me pull it up over here. I have this delay right here that does an auto swell, but it's also set up if I were to plug in my like a volume pedal or an expression pedal, it'll control it here. You can see it's assigned to my expression pedal, which I don't have hooked up at the moment. But if you wanted to control it, the swells via your foot, you could definitely do that. Someone noticed I'm not using the Dunlop Mini to control a check Stomp presets anymore. I do from time to time. I actually do. It's sitting right here. It's just not on my board. I plug it in all the time. The cable I use to plug it in though right now is being used with the interface so that you can hear the guitar. But yeah, so I do use it. I use it quite often, and sometimes like on a Sunday I'll just I'll plug it in the front of my board, so it'll just be in the front. And I've had pictures like on Instagram where I'll just have my board and I'll just set that off to the side, and I'll still use it for swells or to dial in certain parameters. I ran through everything that was in this Expanse pack update, but the one that came out earlier in the week was all the expression stuff that you could do with the expression. So I actually included like 6 new presets pre-set up for you guys, that if you have one of these, you have an expression pedal, you can see how I set all that up to control either drive or delay or reverb or modulation, and the looper volume if you're running a pad. I sell pads. I made some pads that you can run through your iPad. I have all those pre-set up for you guys. They're also in the Expanse pack. So yeah, I use this quite a lot. Let's go to the regular swells. gonna get the HX Stomp XL? I'm still debating. For those of you who don't know, I actually ordered it, or I thought I did. I ordered it. I called Guitar Center, and I was like, hey, I'd like to go ahead and order this thing, and they got me set up. I was wondering if they were in the store. Of course they weren't. They're like, no, we're they're back ordered or whatever, but we'll get it sent to you soon. And like by the date that it was supposed to be sent out, I hadn't got an email, so I called and they said it's actually got pushed back a couple of weeks. So I waited till that date and called again. They said, oh yeah, we'll let you know when it comes in. It got pushed back a little bit more. And then I decided to like log in my Guitar Center account, and it showed that my my original purchase never went through. Like something happened with the card and it got declined somehow, and so it was never coming. So now I was like, do I really want it? I don't know. I think it would be cool. I'm doing a huge giveaway where I haven't really talked about this a lot, but I'm gathering pieces, a lot of different pieces of equipment to put together to give away to you guys. And on that, in that giveaway is going to be an HX Stomp or an HX Stomp XL. And so I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to get. Someone, in order for me to do this giveaway, someone has actually sponsored enough money to buy an HX Stomp for this giveaway. But the XL, as you know, is like 150 more. So I'm trying to decide now. Now that it didn't come through, I was like, is this a sign that maybe I shouldn't get it? So I don't know. I really love the reason I talk about the HX Stomp so much is because I feel like it is very valuable in the worship world because it is so compact. The XL takes a lot of those things I like and maybe makes things easier, but it's just that much bigger. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So we'll see. Yeah, I know. Guitar Center. Come on, Guitar Center. It was my card that declined, and I remember what happened. I was actually, I have a YouTube channel, so I got to do YouTube stuff. I have to find music that is, copyright free, and I found a site called Upbeat. Upbeat is where I get my music, and I was dealing with some stuff with them, and their website was like malfunctioning, and so it was like trying to charge my card a few times, and so it like put a hold on the card. And right after that's when I didn't know that. Right after that's when I was using my card to purchase that Stomp XL at Guitar Center, and they said it declined, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll use a different card. So I used a different card, but that purchase never went through. I didn't see that in my account at all, so I never ordered it. But kind of my fault, I guess. Kind of their fault. I don't know. XL would be crazy awesome for a giveaway. Okay, that's good to know. The Pod Go with the built-in expression pedal, I think, is a good way to go too. Yeah, it definitely is. I don't have a Pod Go. I think that is definitely a way to go, especially at the price point, for ease, for people wanting to get into the world of electric guitar. I mean, when I started, I was just acoustic, and then I had some friends playing electric, and I was like, man, that looks awesome, but I'm like too scared to get into it. And it's expensive, it's expensive. So being able to have like the HX Stomp or the Pod Go or the XL allows you to play through a bunch of amps and effects that you would never previously have the money to invest in. And so that's why I talk about it so much, because I feel like it is very helpful. Let me read some of more of these comments. Sweetwater, I see Matt. Yes, I actually called Sweetwater too, but they were like an hour late in calling me back. And when they finally did call me back, I had made the purchase through Guitar Center, I thought. And as soon as I figured all this out, I was like, I should have just went with Sweetwater. What was I thinking? Not a lot of DSP on the Pod Go. That is true. Brad, debating on the jump to the XL using the Jet Micro now. I'm thinking the only advantage would be the extra foot switches. Yeah, honestly, man, the XL and the Stomp for that matter would be way better if they would give us more instant commands. If you've seen some of my other videos, the one drawback is you only get 6 instant commands through Command Center. If they would give you be able to send 16 MIDI messages at a time, like the Jet MCX, that would make it just killer. It wouldn't even be a conversation then. Yeah, I'm not Claudio. I believe it, man. When things don't work out, I think it's the Lord speaking. I know sometimes I feel that way too. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Little office reference for you guys. What you're doing now with what you have sounds amazing. I appreciate it. for those of you who may have just joined, the winner of the pedal, we already announced it. The email starts with an RO. I'm not saying the rest of the name. It ends with design, and the end of the email is @gmail.com. RO something design @gmail.com. We'll be emailing that person very, very soon. Let's go back to the Send as well. Do I use IRs or amps or both? I don't know how to make IRs, but I have purchased some really good IRs. And let me just be honest, this is a good conversation. I purchased David Hislop's IRs, and I just purchased one speaker, and with that one speaker, I got like, I don't know, between 40 and 80 files of different combinations of microphones, which is an amazing value. Put a lot of work into it, and they sound really good. If you want to watch the video where I put this up against the AC30 and the Stomp, in the last half of that video, I actually used his IRs, and they sound really good. I did a test where I played one weekend with my pretty much my worship where are we at here? The worship template, and instead of using my amp and cab that I usually dial in, I use the there we go. Instead of using the amp and cab that I dial in, I used David Hislop's IRs, and they sound amazing. And then the next weekend I used my setup with the dual cab. I always run a dual cab. I use two different microphones. With the dual cab, I usually pick the same cab and just mic it differently. That way I can kind of dial in the same sound rather than having two extreme different sounds. The same cab with two different mic combinations. And like in a live scenario, I could not tell the difference. Like by the time it went through my in-ears and it was in the mix, the subtleties of getting IRs versus the cab to me was not necessarily worth it. Although it is better. Like in my really, expensive headphones coming straight through the Stomp, being able to hear the difference. There is a difference, and sometimes I was explaining this to one of my guitar players. Sometimes it's just different, and I wouldn't even say it's better. It's just like, yeah, that sounds really good, and then so does a dual cab dialed in really well. So it's just preference, and I don't have the best ears in the world. So some of you guys might have you might be a little bit better at picking out those little nuances, but for me, I use it from time to time, and then I honestly use this worship template with a dual cab dialed in. I think a DSL accelerator box that could connect to the Stomp would be huge. UA already does this with the Apollo series. Wow, okay, yeah, I don't even know anything about that. That would be awesome. Okay, I'm getting some questions of who's the winner again. So if you're just showing up, the winner, we drew the name. The email starts with RO, the letter RO. It ends with the word design @gmail.com. RO, a name, design @gmail.com. Have I ever tried the kinky boost between the amp and cab? You can leave it on. No gain adds fullness to the tones. You know what? I've used the kinky boost, but I don't think I've put it between the amp and cab. That would be something cool to try. I would like to try that. That's a good tip. Worship Tutorials has some great IRs too. Yes, I've never... Actually, yes. I think they had a free download with some IRs, and I got their IRs. I think it was actually a Tone Junkie IR that I used that came in the free pack, and it was an IR of the amp I already have, or used to have, which was the Tyler HM18. I have not tried the Radar. I don't know anything about it, honestly. How many of you have tried the new retro reel on some stuff? I really like it. I have it dialed in like this. It just kind of gives it that a retro vibe. Retro reel at the end of the chain works really great too. Yes, I've played with it in different spots. In this specific patch, I'm just trying to keep it stereo, and since there wasn't enough room to have this retro reel be stereo and a stereo dynamic haul, I really prefer to have the reverb be stereo. But if you're going mono, then it doesn't matter. So you're right. Very Pink Floydian. Exactly right. Yes, it's pretty good. I have the, for those of you who weren't here, I made this Tweed preset and the Hot Springs is on there. I really liked it. I think it has some different settings. Let's play with it a little bit. Let's crank it up to an unrealistic sound. Never get the spring to sound anything other than surf rock. I know the dude from 60 Cycle Hum is really good at playing that stuff, but I'm not. I shouldn't even try. I don't even know how to play that kind of stuff. I'm so much a worship guitar player that it's embarrassing. Yeah, so anyways, guys, it was cool hanging out with you. My go-to patch. Yeah, it's honestly that's why I was sharing it. This worship template. I've been just copy and pasting that every single week, and depending on what guitar I use, depends on the amp and cab combination. I'll just switch out the amp and cabs, and then I'll play around some other effects. Sometimes, you know, in this specific patch, I put in the retro reel, but before that came out, I would put in like a single pitch. If I wanted to, like, on a lead line, just add a little bit of a higher octave. I love doing that from time to time. I appreciate it, Matt. Yeah, so that's my go-to patch. So on this guitar, this is my single coil. I have my AC30 Fawn, and I really love the way that sounds. This is the one I've been using in the past. I was gonna say the past few weeks, but the past few weeks I've been playing my my other guitar, which is in the shop right now. If you haven't heard, I just played it Sunday. My new Reverend guitar, and it was great. The tone was great. I played it last few weeks. It's been sounding really good, and I love this preset with it. I've been using the Matchstick 2 preset that's in my. It's this preset with the Matchstick Channel 2 amp and cab combination that I have in the Expanse Pack. Played it, I hung it on this wall, I went to pick it up to play something, and I noticed that like a screw near the pickup was like hanging out, and I was like, what is going on? And I noticed like the whole pickup was like falling inside the guitar, and it wasn't like that on Sunday. I have no idea what happened. It went from my case to the wall. Anyways, it must have just been like barely hanging on and something jostled it loose. So there's actually a guy, shout out to Born Again Guitars, who lives right around the corner from me, and I dropped it off to him, and he's working on it, gonna set it up for me and get everything working right. He loves the guitar. Nothing's wrong with the pickup, he fixed that, but my pickup selector, if you notice in some of the videos where I'll switch my pickup selector on my other guitar, it'll like pop, and he told me it's actually was going bad, and it wasn't the stock, it wasn't the original Reverend pickup selector is what he said. Anyway, so he's ordering another one from Reverend, gonna put it in for me, and he said it should be done hopefully by this weekend. I played on Tuesday at the chapel at the seminary with this guitar again, and I was like, oh, I still love this, and I use this exact preset on Tuesday and just typed in my BPMs for the songs, and it sounds great. So yeah, that's my go-to. Exactly. That's what I love about it. Like, just delete stuff. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll dial in a preset and I love it one day, and the next day I'm like, this whole thing sounds horrible. And I just start over. You know, I'll just pick out something else and start over. All right, guys, let's do this again sometime. I have more giveaways coming up in the future. It was fun hanging out with you guys. I love doing this. Maybe I'll do it more often now that I have I figured out OBS finally, and it's working, and I can show you different things, which is cool. The fact that I can show you my iPhone if I need to. There's the Geneva one last time. I'm really sad to give this thing away. Actually, I was telling him he should give me one, but I love it. If you're a worship leader and you're just thinking about having a backup amp, at my church we have an actual Blues Junior backup amp, and I thought, man, having a couple of these around, even if you want to go stereo, you could go in, have two of them and go stereo. We have a stereo system, and I don't even run stereo most of the time, actually any of the time. Our other guitar player does. I thought about doing it, but it sounds good mono too. A lot of my patches aren't super wide anyway, so it just sums it to mono. Yeah, it's a whole conversation on stereo versus mono. I don't have time for that right now. But back to this. I'm sad to see it go, but I might pick these up for the church just to have some backup if amps go wrong. If somebody's using an amp and their tube goes out, it'd be just easy to plug this in like a direct box and just get some amazing AC30 tones without a lot of hard work. So definitely go check out Westminster Effects. He's got a lot of other cool things. Hopefully he'll send me some stuff, and I can do some more videos. But I'm gonna head out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for participating in the giveaway. I'm gonna do some more swells, and then I'll head out. Nope, that's the wrong preset. Where'd it go? My next video, when amps go wrong. That's right. Eric, I'm from Brazil. Give it to me. I don't have an amp. Well, I just gave this one away already. If they don't respond, I will draw another name, and we'll see who wins. Do I sum to mono of just mono left output only? Yeah, so when I'm at church, I just come out of the left side, and the HX sums things to mono. Now, I've done a couple videos on mono versus stereo. If you have a really wide sounding stereo patch, sometimes having the HX Stomp sum it to mono can cause some phasing issues and doesn't really sound all that great. So in the Expanse Pack, on a lot of the presets that I did around that era, I went ahead and did a mono and stereo version because I like to dial in my delays and reverbs differently on a mono patch than a stereo a lot of times. It seems like a stereo patch being summed to mono, sometimes the reverbs are too strong. So when you're used to having the stereo spread of a reverb, then it's summed to mono, it seems like it gets too thick and in the way. So I like to pull them back a little bit. So yeah, but on Sunday, I've been taking this stereo preset because it's not too wide, and I think it still sounds pretty good. So I have not been messing with mono. I've just been taking my stereo worship template and just summing to mono, and it sounds fine to me. It sounds really good.